Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm starting things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote into chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, wink, you can use other people's emotes. You can just say hi. And if you feel like being a lurker, it's okay to lurk. You don't have to say anything. You can just enjoy the stream. Lashberg is here. Hello, Lashberg. Happy to have you here. It is a Monday, and the goal tonight is to finish the fight here. The Mighty Strike Freedom Gundam. We are going to stay and finish this up. I've got plenty of stickers to apply, so this is going to be a bit of a thing here, but I am interested in finishing this, so I will stay past 11 p.m. if necessary to finish this up. Because for one particular reason, which is that I don't think I'm going to be streaming on Thursday, and maybe not Monday? There are a lot of question marks. I don't have good answers for you right now about that. At the time of this live stream, I'm streaming tomorrow. I'm 99% sure that I'm streaming tomorrow, and which I'll be playing Battlesuit Aces, a mecha game that has cards in it. It's a card battler mecha game. That's tomorrow. I'm doing that. And then I don't think I'm streaming. I was already not going to be streaming on Saturday, but now I'm pretty sure I'm not streaming on Thursday either. And then I don't know if I'm streaming on Monday. Let's get into it. Let's start applying stickers while I talk to y'all about that. So I don't have all the answers, unfortunately, when it comes to my schedule. I wish I did. I wish I could give you clear stuff here. I'm also not going to talk too much about why I'm missing. These are stickers 1, it looks like. Oh, that's white text on black. That is just a little hard for me to read. I am going to make use of my phone here. It's a family reason. That is the about extent of it. I have family matters to attend to. And let's see. So that's sticker 4. And then that's sticker 2. Wait, yeah, oh no, what's when you flip it over? So that's sticker 4. Okay, so I want to apply sticker 4 on this side and this side there. So we'll find 4. 4 are these stickers here. So yeah, due to family stuff, I am going to be out of town. And so I will be bringing my laptop, but my laptop is not, the laptop I have is not good at doing things like having multiple USB. It does have a webcam, so I guess I could do a check-in stream. I also don't know what the internet is going to be like where I'm going to be. And I'm also at present moment not sure how long I'll be gone. Like I said, I might be streaming next Monday. I might not be. I don't know. And that's not fair to y'all if I don't know how long I'm going to be away. So yeah, I'm playing everything by ear. I'm not going to look, there was a part of me who goes, well, I have a Lego set. I could, and I have a model kit that doesn't require tools to build. So I guess I could take that. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to bring a Lego set to where I'm going. As I said, my laptop does not love having multiple, having a second camera plugged in, because I do have a webcam I could plug in to be like an overhead webcam if I wanted to, but the last time I streamed off that laptop, some people may remember, was when I was in New York, and so that laptop I couldn't use. So when I was streaming, I had a headset microphone plugged in that couldn't do, my headset should be able to do audio and the microphone and headphones, and it would only do one of the two. So then I had my because they're big cans. Inside, I had earbuds that were Bluetooth in, and when I did that, my mouse stopped working. So the laptop I have is like, it was like $100 and something bucks. I got it at like a Walmart special. It was on sale at Walmart. And the whole thing of that laptop is that it just exists so I can run like a PowerPoint on it. That's the only reason I have it, or like a PDF, because it has HDMI out. It mostly exists for occasionally I don't want to work in this bedroom and I take the laptop out. But most of the time it is just I plug it into my dad's or the TV. Hey, Lord Crashington. I plug it into the TV in the Carolina room, as we call it, which is just the den or whatever. I plug it in there so my dad can watch Thursday Night Football on it, because of course that's on Amazon Prime, and we don't have anything on that TV that would be better for that. So that is the best thing for that. Okay, so I have put stickers on here. Now we're going to flip these over and apply the opposite stickers basically on the other side of these, which is 2 is the long ones and 1 are the short ones. So we'll do that. Pretty easy to do this here. And we're going to have to do another set of these with the other stickers, as you can clearly tell here. I hope you're doing well, Lord Crashington. Glad you're here. So, again, as of right now, I can tell you that I will be streaming tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, playing Battlesuit Aces on our Tuesday night stream. That is the Patreon choice. And then I do not expect to be streaming on Thursday. I do not expect to be streaming on Saturday. I was already going to take Saturday off, so now I don't believe I'm going to be watching the AEW pay-per-view, at least live. I don't expect to be watching it because I will be at in a hotel room in Connecticut, and so I'm probably not going to buy it just to run it on my laptop, because that's going to be bad. Over the weekend, it became sort of clear that at some point, my folks and I were going to Connecticut. That became somewhat clear over the past weekend. You know, Saturday, we weren't fully sure, but it was like it's pretty likely. Then yesterday, it was like, oh, okay, we're going to Connecticut. Like that became more and more clear. But when we're leaving, I'm pretty sure is Wednesday. There exists a possibility that I might get up tomorrow and my folks might say, actually, we're leaving today. In which case, stream will be canceled tomorrow, and I will do my best to let you know. But as far as I know right now, we're not leaving until Wednesday. We are going to be driving up, and then I think the plan is that we're driving up and I'm going to fly back on my own ahead of other things. But that has not been, like, a plane ticket has not been purchased. That's what I'm saying there. So I don't know if that's for true or not. We're kind of, again, playing some things by ear, seeing what happens. So I apologize that everything's up in the air. But one thing I made a good judgment call on it. I'm not going to be here on Friday or Saturday when I normally record things. So I had a scheduled recording of 2 more, not the one that comes out this week, but the next 2 episodes of Kuma Baer, my weekly anime recommendation series. Now, of course, I could skip a week and just put out 2 one week, you know? I could do that. But I will say this. Since I started my Wednesday project, I've never missed a Wednesday. There was one week where I got really busy and didn't put the video up until like 10:50 p.m. or something. But that's the only time I've come close to actually missing one of those uploads. So I don't want to start. So before the stream tonight, I recorded the next 2, which thankfully I'm always like, at very least I have everything ready for it, right? I don't have a script written down, but I have I knew what 2 anime I wanted to talk about. This month's theme for Kuma Baer is me talking about my favorite shows from last season. So that's pretty easy, right? I also know 3 of the 4 shows I want to talk about next month. I just don't know the last one or whatever. Now that doesn't mean that I have the animated GIF. So I should say that I know the theme for the month ahead of time. Then I need to find an animated GIF. I need to make sure if it's a new season, that's easy enough. But if it's an older show or something like that, like when I was doing like my favorites of the 90s, I have to make sure that they are available somewhere, because I've already broken my rule once where I talked about my favorite show, one of my favorite mecha shows, The Big O, which is not available anywhere. I already broke that rule once for The Big O because it felt worth it. Since then, a couple series I've recommended have gone off of a streaming service, which is a shame, but that's it. So I wanted to have a few shows to talk about there, and I'm ready. And then I have to find a nice quality animated GIF, which is harder than you might think. There's one show this year where I just couldn't fucking find a good animated GIF. All I could find was low quality stuff on Tumblr, and I had to like log in with an account to find it, and then it turned out they were a weird GIF format. They weren't animated GIFs or MP4s, and it was a fucking nightmare to get that to work. So for that show, I just did a screenshot. But I like having a nice quality animated GIF. The older shows, I have to kind of fudge around because they're not 16:9, they're 4:3, so I have to kind of mess around with that. But it's fine. So I did record 2 more. So I'm done with my Kuma Baer recording for the rest of this month, which is great. Okay, so we put them like this. We flipped them over. Now we need to put on, attach carefully, be careful not to apply too much force. F1 and F1 here, and then F1. And then we're done with these. We can panel line them. And then we have to do the other ones, which are basically identical, but face the other way. We get it. So let's get F1, which is right here. F1, 2. And we'll need 2 of these. So we got to find F1, 2, and then F1, 3. These are the outside ones for that. Okay, so so I recorded that. And then as many of you are aware, I have a job that I have a bunch of little jobs that I do. I'm underemployed, but I do have some work. And one of the places I do is a data entry place. Sometimes it is just spreadsheet stuff. Often it is presentations. They're decks, just PowerPoints really, that I make for, or occasionally Keynote, which is I have to make a PowerPoint and then make them into a Keynote, make sure they load on my iPad and they work properly, save them as a Keynote on my iPad, and then send them out. And it's a pain in the ass. But occasionally they ask for Keynote, which I don't have a Mac, but I do have an iPad. So far that works. Eventually the version of Keynote I have on my iPad will stop letting me do that because of forced obsolescence from Apple. But right now it works anyway. Some of the stuff that I do would be very easy to do for my low-powered laptop with just 1 monitor. Other things, having 2 monitors is unbelievably helpful. Or having 3 monitors in this case, unbelievably helpful. Or just the demands of those things are so high that it would just be ridiculous to expect me to do it on my laptop. So I'm trying to do all of that before Wednesday. So that was my day today. I got a little bit done yesterday because I had things that were due this week. So I got a little bit done yesterday, but now I'm prioritizing things that would be hard to do on my laptop. So that's the plan right now. It is, and then also I've got my laptop up, but I have to like put some software on there that I haven't had on there in a long time. So that's been fun to kind of figure out. Ooh, that kind of looks neat. Cool. I put a sticker on here and then I covered the sticker. Oh, and it goes like this, I guess. Okay. I was like, why am I putting stickers on here if I'm pulling that out? But apparently I can just kind of pull it out a little bit to show that it's got a sticker. We'll do that because it looks cool. And then this goes like that. Oops. I got to do the first part. I got to do the bottom first. I knew that, and then I didn't do it. So it's a little hectic around here. Folks that were here on Saturday may remember I was a little out of sorts. That was not just because I was rushing around due to company. It was also because of other things happening in my life that are getting a little tough out there. It's getting a little tough out there. A friend of mine who saw me post about how, like, oh yeah, things are weird and I'm not sure when I'm going to Connecticut, said, oh well, are you okay? Have you started processing? And to which I replied, oh no, I haven't had time to do that. My assumption is that I am going to be in a weird place while we're driving, and I'll be in a weird headspace while we're driving. And then I am going to get to Connecticut, and I'm going to see family that I have not seen in a while, and I'm gonna have it all come out. I don't want to put it like, oh, I'm gonna have like an episode, or I'm gonna have something like that. I'm gonna find the opportunity to fully and completely process things that I have not been able to do that yet. I have not been able to process grief yet, which is important to do because I have been so busy doing those things. Because I should say I'm doing my stream tonight because I'm not sure the next time I'm going to do a build stream. Like I said, I'm going to game stream tomorrow. Not sure, taking Thursday off. Not sure when I'm going to stream again after tomorrow. Folks that have been here a while have heard me say this, and I want to make it very clear that this is a true statement when I say this. Streaming has been very good for me on a mental health level. It has been incredibly helpful for me to have a creative outlet. That has been essential for me and my mental health, to have a place like this to build model kits, a hobby I really like, and to talk about anime and video games and wrestling and all kinds of things. It's been very good for me. So I didn't want to take tonight off just because I'm not like at 100%, because it is also a job and all of that. And I know people would understand, but also it does not go unnoticed that there are some of you that are here every stream. Maybe not every single stream, but you're here a lot. You're here on Mondays, or you're here every Saturday, or you're here every Thursday. And at the very least, there will be at least 2 streams where I'm not here either. And I know that when things that I have been looking forward to, or kind of bank on, or build my schedule around don't happen, that I get a little anxious about that as well. But you have to know that also means when I stream, it is good for me to do. So there exists a possibility that where I am staying, when I end up in Connecticut, will have good Wi-Fi, and I will have time and energy and want to like do a hangout stream, a just chatting stream. I can't necessarily imagine that's going to happen, but it could. And again, I'm not sure when I'm coming back. So I don't know when, I'll be streaming again. So yeah, it's all up in the air. I'm sorry if I'm a broken record about this. I'm sorry. This is me being able to talk about it a little bit. And like I said, I am not I have not begun to process some things. So I'm a little out of sorts, but I'm doing my best with being out of sorts. And yeah. That's all I can really do is my best. We'll try to talk about some more fun things besides that, if we can. If we can, if we must, we'll try to talk about a few other things here while we pan align this, and then build the same of these 2 things, only do the opposite side, basically, or something like that. In the second hour, we will talk about a manga that I have been reading, and I will talk about the first 2 episodes of an anime that I've been watching, which has a different title from its official manga release in the US, or in English, I should say, but that Crunchyroll made the choice to change the name of it. But we will talk about that. There is some news left over from last week. The big gaming sites didn't do news today. It is a federal holiday, Indigenous Peoples Day, or laugh at the Italian man that couldn't get Italy to fund him to do stuff, so he went and got money from the Spanish day, to however you decide to celebrate it. But yeah, no banks in America. And also, this past weekend or today, Canadian Thanksgiving. I hope that was a good time for those that celebrate Canadian Thanksgiving, or as you call it, Thanksgiving. I hope you had a good time on your Thanksgiving things. I know I saw a few friends being mad that there were some hockey games that were on very early, and it was like, oh yeah, because it's a holiday, so those games are, kids are going to those games, and it's like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Anyway, there is a few pieces of news here. One piece of news here is that somebody playing Borderlands 4 was doing some maths. They were doing some calculations here, and there's some stuff coming out that like makes it seem like maybe the tables are a little off there for the game here. This is RNG tables. One player decided to go full tilt in the numbers direction and excel the shit out of Borderlands 4 loot RNG. This is again as written up here on Kotaku. Result after 3,000 boss kills, which is that's a lot of boss kills, but I think like a fair number of boss kills to make some calculations here. After 3,000 boss kills published on the subreddit in a colors-coded spreadsheet was a legendary drop rate that felt surprisingly stingy at just 5%. So 5% of the time when you beat a boss, you get something that's legendary. And their conclusion was that is too low and too, as they put, stingy. And they would like it to be 10%. One is the reason is precedent, as that was the drop rate in Borderlands 2. And I think that's fair. If the Borderlands 2 drop rate was higher than it is in 4, I understand why you would say, hey, that should be, 10% is a sweet spot. I get that. I understand that. 10% created a perfect balance where a drop always felt special, but you never go too long without one. And then this person said, while a 5% drop rate means you're averaging one legendary drop every 20 boss kills, the far end of the range means there are players out there going to be a lot longer without getting anything meaningful. Especially if they're trying to farm a specific piece of equipment. Because this is like 5%, like overall. And then, meanwhile, Borderlands, Gearbox is out there. They're not dealing with that. They're not interested in that right now. Maybe they will become interested in that, but as of right now, they're not interested in that. What they are interested in it is weapon balance. They're trying to balance some weapons, which sounds good. But apparently that's going to be nerfing instead of buffing, which is kind of a bummer. Like sometimes I understand it, but also reminder that you can play that game single player, and nerfing items in a single player game is, in my opinion, not the fucking greatest, but I understand for other people. Other people may say, nah, Pat, that's cool. All right, so we did these two. Now we're going to do the same thing with the other side here, so which we need this one here, F and F. Basically, we're going to do exactly what we did there, only we're doing it on this side. Same thing. Lord Crash says, I will not play a game dishonorably. Yes, indeed. So there's some buffs, there's some drops. Assault rifles are going to get some love. Small updates this week for a large one next week. And apparently, Gearbox is unhappy with some mods that are out there. which this is the point where I say, fuck off. Fuck off. Unless it is malicious in nature. Gearbox, you should not care about mods. Let people have their dumb thing. If you want to make it so you can't play with other people if you have mods installed, fine, do that. I think that's okay. But if you're saying that you're going to remove... Okay, so they're not saying they're going to remove a mod, but a request that people have been making is, hey, could you be able to skip dialogue? It'd be great if we could just skip all dialogue. And there is a mod that does that. It lets you skip all the dialogue in the game, which is the requested feature, because people want to grind, because they've seen all the dialogue, and they don't need to see it again while they're just dicking around. Now, Timmons, who works on the dev team there, he's the creative director. My apologies. The creator director, Timmons, said, I'd be cautious using this mod. Skipping dialogue could lead to broken mission states that might not be recoverable. So they're not saying they're going to ban that mod, but he's out there being like, I don't know if that's a good idea. And it's like, yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. Sure. Maybe that's not a good idea. I don't know about that. Anyway, I mean, that's not as, to me, that is not as important as the other things that need to get taken care of with that game. Like balance patches and various other things that hopefully will happen. All right. Let's see. Fantastic Pixel Castle is trying to avoid closure. They were recently, they were formed by NetEase in 2023, but now they have been, yes. They were making Ghost, which is an MMO. And the studio head said that they are no longer an internal NetEase studio. But basically, they didn't just close the studio. Like, they can go and they have the game, and I don't understand how this works, but they still have the game. They just need a new publisher, basically. If they can find a new publisher, they might be able to continue. So now they're looking for a publisher. Otherwise, so this is the thing. NetEase apparently didn't just say, all right, well, we're just closing the studio. They just ended their agreement to fund the game and be a publisher, which is unique, I would say. I think that's a pretty unique scenario. So it isn't, we're not talking about the studio closure, but we might be talking about the studio closure soon, because shopping around a in progress 2-year in development MMO, original IP MMO, as far as I can tell, that's an original IP MMO in 2025 is gonna be a tough thing, because the first thing that any publisher would say is, well, why did NetEase not want to do it? You know, so that could be tough for them. Oh yeah. NetEase did say, you may remember that NetEase, when they shut down the support branch in the United States for Marvel Rivals, they had said, well, you know, we're still committed to working with our studios in the United States, and now they have severed their ties with this one, and they have also shuttered the T-0 Entertainment as well, which is based in Austin. And that one was completely shut down. So, you know, if I was working at a studio that was owned by NetEase and I was in the United States, I would be worried. It seems like that is a fair assessment, is to be worried. Let's see. Hey, Jeremy Parish is writing a book that is being published by Dark Horse Comics. It is called Delve into the Beginning. Sorry, no, that is the press release says that. It is called The History of Metroidvania, Decade 1, 1980 to 1990. So basically setting up a title that screams, I'm gonna do more of this. Please keep looking for more books. This is definitely the start of a series. Jeremy being the person to write the book is fucking perfect. As the man who is credited with popularizing the term Metroidvania, who he says he did not create that. There are several people who are saying it that he probably got it from. It has never been fully confirmed who he did, but it is fair, in my opinion, fair to say that Jeremy Parish popularized the term for a game that is like that era of Castlevania and that era of Metroid. So Jeremy Parish, who has written other books as well, but this one is probably the most high profile. He is a curator at Limited Run Games, as many of you know, and as some of you may be aware, he was from certainly made his name at 1UP, writing articles and doing podcasts, including Retronauts. And he had a zine. I've known of Jeremy for a very long time, as he was good friends with my good friend, and they were zine bros back in the day. But yeah, I've known of Jeremy Toasty Frog for many, many years. But yeah, so it's a book about that first decade. Jeremy has a quote in this press release. Metroidvania, the first decade, is a culmination of a project I began more than 20 years ago, back when this style of game had largely vanished and the general public had more or less forgotten about them. As a game reviewer, I eagerly signed up for the handful of Metroidvania games that came out down the pipeline, which fittingly were mostly just handheld Metroid and Castlevania sequels and remakes. Once I consumed those remakes, I began looking back into the past to trace the origins of those games and how exploratory platform action games had evolved over time. As many people will call them, search actions or action platformers, instead of using the Metroidvania term, because some people say that it's more of one or the other, and no, that's not even all Castlevania games, yada, yada, yada. There's many arguments to be had that I am not interested in getting into. I'm just happy that Jeremy's written a book like this, and it's being published by Dark Horse, which means that it will be in not just comic book stores, but also a variety of other locales and places. There is a non-zero chance that if you went to the West Coast PAX, the PAX West, that you could buy it, because I don't know if they still do, but for a number of years, the fine folks at Dark Horse ran a booth at PAX, and I think that would be probably a really good place to sell that book. It is a hardcore 232 pages, 9x12, will be available in bookstores March 3rd and in comic book shops March 4th. So the day after it's in bookstores. It is now available for pre-order on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, local bookstores, comic book shops. The asking price is fucking pricey. I'm not saying they're doing that here. Seems like this is more about the lead up to the genre. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're starting with 1980 to 1990, you're looking at like the games that inspired it. Certainly. If you're looking at the first 10 years of the genre, you're looking at the games that like maybe kind of inspired that and began to do that. Instead of just doing a book on Metroid and Castlevania, they're just doing a history of it, which I think is, or at least this first volume, and that's interesting. It has a high price point, which I imagine you will be able to get for much cheaper than the current price of $55. I imagine you will be able to get it far cheaper than that out there. But if you want to pay full price and pre-order at full price, you could do that. But yeah, I'm happy for Jeremy. He is, of course, the perfect person to do this. Could not imagine someone who is better suited. Also, because this is a press release on Dark Horse's site, it has the tags news, video games, one word, but intercapped with G for video games, and it's tags. Jeremy Parish and Metroidvania. And if I click on Jeremy Parish, it just brings this up. But if I click on Metroidvania, it just brings up this. It's the only tag they have. I kind of, when there's a thing that has like an odd thing or odd tag, I like to check on them on press releases to see if there's been anything else. Like video games, one word intercapped has a few, books and Assassin's Creed comics and various things like that. Lots of Assassin's Creed comics. Not actually that many, but there's some stuff in there. As far back as... Oh, that didn't work. Never mind. Yeah. I don't know. I just thought that was funny to look at the tags there. Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. All right. We got more stickers to apply. All we've done is stickers and panel lining so far as we work on the back of this kit here. We still also have the dual guns, the dual rifles. This kit has 2 rifles that we have to build as well. But we got to build this defender, this like big part of the backpack, this winged section. This part is the worst sticker here because I got to really line this up, these bends here. I mean, these are not as bad as stickers that have to fold, mind you, but they are big stickers, so that's nice. For folks that, if I am your second screen experience, or on the second screen, if I'm your first screen experience and you've got on the second screen some sports, I hope your team's doing well. And I hope your team is not getting super injured, because this seems like a bad year for that in football. Seems like a lot of football injuries this year. So I'm hoping that that's not the case for your team. If you're doing the football, or if you're doing... baseball or hockey or what have you. I hope that your team's in good shape. Because I know that basketball hasn't started yet, but it will. It will start. It demands to begin. There's always a sport. There's always something. All right, this is the last of these stickers, so I can get rid of this. But we still have a bunch of these stickers for the gun and various other parts. So we're not done with stickers. We're just done with these big pink ones here. We'll get that on. There has been some movement for AEW's pay-per-view that is happening this Saturday, Wrestle Dream, which I was planning on watching with some friends via a Discord hangout, and now I am not doing that. As far as I know, not doing that unless some plans change. My plans have changed. But I can still pay attention to it and still follow along, and then hopefully watch it later at some point. We've got 8 matches on the card. Some of these matches do not feel like they should be on this pay-per-view. Notable exception on this list here. We do not have on this list Mercedes Moné. She is wrestling on Friday night at CMLL. So my assumption is she is not going to be on the pay-per-view, and they are not going to book her on Wednesday. That she is just doing a title match on Friday in Mexico, and then not doing another one on Saturday. Which, you know what? More power to her if that's the case. That seems to be the case, that she is not doing that. And I think that's perfectly okay. We do have 8 matches. Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley in an I Quit match that should be pretty good and hopefully ends this feud. My honest desire is please just beat Moxley, but my fear is that Moxley will win, and then they will have the blow off at Full Gear and finally end it. maybe not even then. But I would love their feud to end here. I don't think it will. Hangman Adam Page is defending the title against Samoa Joe, and I expect Hangman Adam Page to win. I am looking forward to this match because I think these two will work really well together. I don't think that Joe is going to stay heel. I think he is heel-ish just for this, but I think that'll be solid. Chris Statlander is defending the AEW Women's World Championship against Timeless Toni Storm. I really hope that Stat retains. I think it would be a bad call for them to put the belt back on Toni, and I would like this definitive victory to push Toni in some sort of slightly altered direction, even if that altered direction is forming a tag team for the women's tag, which we haven't seen anything of, except they reminded us on Wednesday, or they reminded us, on Saturday, hey, yeah, we remember that we're going to do that. Jurassic Express, which is Jack Perry and Luchasaurus versus the Young Bucks, that is Matt and Nick Jackson, are taking on each other in a tag match where the winner receives $500,000. I think the Jurassic Express together again, losing to the Bucks would feel bad. But the Bucks with money is pretty enjoyable as a storyline. Them having money again and then blowing that money is pretty fun. But I'm just going by unless Jack Perry is going to turn heel, which I don't think he is right now anyway, then I think he and Luchasaurus should win. But I don't know. But I think they should. Kyle Fletcher is defending the TNT title against Mark Briscoe. So there are two schools of thought here. One, it's time for Kyle Fletcher to fully have that world title fight and win that fight, and so he should drop the TNT title. And two, Mark Briscoe should have a belt, but they have not built Mark up properly for that. Mark beat MJF in a pay-per-view recently, and so he's probably not going to win another pay-per-view match. So my assumption is that this is a Kyle Fletcher match that will go. Oh, here are my thoughts on this match. It's going to go too long. Mark is going to bleed too much to sell for Kyle, but it's going to go 5 minutes longer than it should because Kyle Fletcher just does fucking New Japan length big matches to his detriment, in my opinion. All right, I got to try to pop this out here without breaking anything. I was supposed to put in this side first, and I didn't fully. I went too fast. So now I'm trying to pop this top piece out without breaking it, which they warned me about, and I still messed up. Okay, let's see. Can I? Brodito, that's Bandito and Brody King, are defending their tag team championships against Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita. Okada has just the tag belts are on the line. Okada has the unified AEW titles, which is the CC belts, the Continental Classic belts, and the international title. And Konosuke Takeshita does not have a title in AEW, but he just hours ago won the IWGP belt in New Japan. And so I don't think they're going to win the tag belts, but I also don't think that Takeshita should lose. So I guess Brody King or Bandito is going to pin Okada, which feels weird to say out loud, but I guess that's what's going to happen. Because I don't think they should be pinning Takeshita unless Okada does something to Takeshita and walks away, like he attacks Takeshita, his own tag partner. I guess that could happen. Yeah, I might break this trying to separate this. I do not know how this got so tangled up in here, but it will not come out easily here. So I'm going to force it out. Yeah, okay. I don't think I broke this, but I might have broke this. All right, so now we put it in this here, and then we can pop it in like that. All right. I think that's okay. There. All right. That's right. Oh, I have to do the other one. I do both of these on here. So yeah, I don't think you should have Okada with 2 belts and Takeshita with an AW belt and a New Japan belt. That's just my opinion on that. So I really like Brodito. I think they're a fine tag team. Should Bandito have a Ring of Honor belt and an AW belt? Probably not, but that's fine. Jamie Hayter versus Tekla. That's your other match on the card for women. It would be nice if that was not there just because they're not going to have, just because we don't have Mercedes. It would be nice if there was a different match happening there. Or it made sense for multiple things, but that's what we got is Tekla versus Jamie Hayter. I think that match will be fine. That feels like a 0-hour match. That feels like a pre-show match that you have to watch on TNT or HBO Max because it's not available on Amazon or YouTube. Like that's what that feels like to me. It feels like that is a weird match to be on there. Hey, Swedish Bud. And then the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, MVP versus The Demand, which is still a terrible name. Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona. So, look, I'm not a fucking booker. I'm not a wrestling booker. You know what I mean? I have my opinions on things. It feels weird to me to have a street fight on TV and then follow up that street fight with a regular match on the pay-per-view. So I wonder if they're going to add a stipulation to this, but it feels strange to go from like a crazy hard-hitting match to like a regular 6-man. It just seems odd. I hope that Eddie Kingston... I thought for sure we would have Eddie Kingston versus Roosh, and that could get added because we only have 8 matches. That also could end up being on the pre-show. I thought for sure we would have Eddie Kingston versus Roosh because that's clearly what we're building towards as he goes through all of the people. But maybe we'll have a different combination, or something like that. Shibata is hanging out with Eddie and Hook now, which kind of makes sense. Because the ops did say, hey, Hook, you're done with us. We're not done with you. We're still going to help you out, even if you're doing your own thing, which is fine. I would love Eddie to start building out an actual faction. I think that would be very funny if Eddie Kingston suddenly had like a mid-tier faction again, because he briefly did have one. He was hanging out with the Lucha Brothers and the Butcher and the Blade for a little bit there and put together a boys' stable. So it'd be nice if he could do that again. It's going to be good for Hook. But Shibata and Eddie do have history of tagging together. So it's happened before. So it's not unheard of for Shibata to think that Eddie's pretty cool. Because Eddie has respect for Japanese strong style. So I would love to see Eddie Kingston on there, even if it's just the pre-show. Just because I love Eddie Kingston. You know what I mean? I would like to see him do some stuff there. Jet Speed and FTR not on the card right now. That feels a little weird. Hey, if you didn't see it because you don't watch Collision, if you don't watch AEW Collision, I understand. I get it. You should track down the main event. They just did a full intergender match. The rarest of things because Tony Khan didn't grow up watching intergender wrestling or all gender wrestling. Because should say that while they do wrestle in the men's division, Speedball Mike Bailey is non-binary, prefers either he or they pronouns, but does wrestle with men, but is non-binary as well, non-binary. So But that match just had like Megan Bain hitting jet speed. It had Willow Nightingale beating the shit out of both guys in FTR, going for a pin on FTR Bald. And it was just a straight up, it was not a mixed tag match, which generally is what happens in AEW. But this was not. This was just an intergender match. They taped on Wednesday and aired on Saturday. And if you have HBO Max, I would say go track that down. If you have your cable login, TBS or TNT, look at the TNT app. Or go to their website and look for that match because it's really good. There are highlights on YouTube as well, but I think the whole match was fantastic. The fact that they currently don't have anything, either team or Willow. I could see Willow versus Megan Bain on the pre-show. Could see that showing up. But hopefully on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, something will get straightened out. I just want to see Kevin and Mike be on a pay-per-view because they're just phenomenal wrestlers and good peoples. So that's my hope. All right, we did this here. We're almost ready to go to the next step. These take a lot of stickers, a lot of work to do these. This Defender, which is the cool big backpack, the wings and things. A lot of panel lining that we can do on this, which is great because it looks real good. But yeah, a lot of work here. We will take a pause for the cause in a few moments. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel. Then we'll talk about a manga that I have been reading. That's right, the return of Manga Monday. And then I'll talk about the first 2 episodes of Reincarnated as the daughter. What's the fucking full title of this goddamn thing? Reincarnated as the daughter of the legendary hero and the Queen of Spirits. This kit looks like the wings are half of it. Yes, this kit has a lot of wings. There's parts of this wings we haven't even built yet. We've got so much gold to panel line too. Like I said, we're going to stay late probably tonight because I want to finish this kit. I do not want to have this kit almost be done and have that waiting for me. But that might be another hour. I don't know. But I'm staying on today to finish this up. Well, I'll go late on a Monday to wrap this thing up, but there's a lot left to do. We're body complete, but we still have work, and we also have those guns to build too. So yeah, there's a lot to this kit. Reincarnated is the daughter of legendary and the Queen of Spirits. I think in the video that I put out today, I used the manga title, which is. Oh no, yeah, Reincarnated is that's right. Sorry. That's the manga title, and the anime has a different title. That's right. I wrote the wrong title down there. I think I got the right title in the video that I made today, or made for today. That's right. The title for this is Dad is a Hero, Mom is a Spirit, I'm a Reincarnator. That is the name of that. So hopefully I said that correctly. It's confusing because the English manga has a different title than what Crunchyroll decided to name the anime, which is confusing. As I said, that could be confusing to people. But I just written down the old name. Because the name of the anime, to me is very funny. It's a funny title, but it's a good show. We'll talk about that. I watched the first 2 episodes, so I can give some chat about that. Okay, so let's just try to get at least a couple of these together here. Oh well, no, I have to do all this. That's right. I have to do all. We're not even ready to touch these yet. That's wild. Yeah, that's right. We're not even ready for that. This piece has to have under things, and then these go on top of them. Yeah, there's a lot left for this. These go like this. And these go like this. Yeah. Yes. Okay. And then this has to go like that. Okay, so that's how this goes. These go like that. That goes like that. So then they lock together. Okay. All right, yeah, we've got way more wing stuff to build here, which we will. We will do that after the pause for the cause. If you were unaware, this is my opportunity to talk to you about ways that you can support the channel and what I do here. Everything I'm about to talk to you is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things, but if you would like to, that would be rad. We would love that over here. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link with your Twitch. You get a token. You can use that for anybody. If you want to use it for me, that would be great. But yeah, if you want to gift a sub, you want to be the first person this month to gift a sub to the community. If you want to do bits and coins, you could do that. Any way you want to help me out would be appreciated because it all goes back into me buying model kits and building other things and doing other streams and stuff. Let's see, what else can I tell you? If you wanted to join my Patreon, you could at patreon.com/PatBear. Over on my Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. It would be great to have you over there. And it is another way to support me if you don't want to go through Twitch, which I understand. I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube channel, of course, you can subscribe for free, and please subscribe for free over there. And if you would like to, you can also become a member. And for just $2 a month, you get the benefit of the video series I do where I put up new video every Wednesday. You'll be able to see that on Tuesday. So tomorrow, you will see a video that otherwise everybody else has to wait until Wednesday to see. So that's something. If that appeals to you, you could make that happen. You could make that a priority. Over there, let's see, other things. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you would just like to throw something in a tip jar, I have that. I have my PayPal and my Ko-Fi, and you could put a direct donation into that. A one-off, and everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense. So watching my videos helps me out. I'm very close to getting a payout. By the end of the year, I should get that payout from Google, which would be nice, and I can buy a bunch of model kits. Through Patreon and through Twitch, all the money that I get every month goes into a fund, and from that fund, I buy model kits and Lego sets and occasionally gear. I do have a kind of a small backlog right now, but I do have two things that I am waiting to build. I'll show them because they're right here, in case we got to them, which I don't think we are. I do have a horse mech to build, and I do have an Ultraman kit, which is Son Goku themed. It's the Monkey King. That's not working. There it is. There's the Monkey King. Background remover is trying to remove these backgrounds. I have those. Those were bought off my Amazon wish list. And so they get priority. And I'm going to build those two kits before I build anything else in my backlog. If you would also like to have something, shout out to Chris for picking those up. If you would also like to buy something that jumps the queue and becomes the next thing that I build, you go over my Amazon wish list where those were purchased. I got a wish list here of a bunch of stuff. Inexpensive kits, expensive kits, kits going on sale all the time, kits with Prime shipping, kits without Prime shipping, all kinds of different things and things. If you see something there you'd like to see me build, you can always buy it from there. On the wish list, recently added to the wish list, a Lego Super Mario Brothers set. It is the Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, and DK Jumbo. And it is a cool looking Lego set that I recently added there. It is pretty pricey, but it's very cool looking. And it is a giant Donkey Kong riding in a cart. And it looks just fun in the DK Jumbo. It just looks really neat. I would like to build that and I would love to have a big Lego Donkey Kong and a red shell and a green shell. That sounds fun. I like a big old Donkey Kong. So if you want to see me build that Lego set, you can buy it off my wish list. My alternative to having an Amazon wish list, because not everyone wants to use Amazon, which I get and support you. I have a wish list on Throne. So if you'd rather buy something for there, they are a wish list provider. So if you want to go and check that out, see if there's something there you'd like to send my way, you could do that as well. And if you want to support me financially and buy something for me to build, and you need to do it the most convoluted way possible, subscribing, that's not your style. You'd rather send me a gift card. You can go to USA Gundam Store, and they will send you a gift card code in your email when you buy the gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper here on Twitch or a DM on Twitter or Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code to go and buy something from USA Gundam Store. That is another way to help me out if you're so inclined. Sorry, I'm getting a plethora of spam messages. People asking, random girls are asking if I'm American. That's gotta be real. They're not following me, but they're sending me a DM. Yeah, that's gotta be real. Has to be. But yeah, if you send me a gift card to USA Gundam Store, I will buy something from USA Gundam Store. And again, it'll come to me in the mail. I will make a dedicated video about it, and then it'll jump the queue and become the next thing I build. Because priority is given to those folks that send me something. If you want to support me financially, but you don't want to spend any money, I have a Discord. You can join that Discord. It is a fine place. As I start to understand my schedule in the next few days fully, I will be giving updates there as well as my social media. And if you'd rather not be on social media, you can just join the Discord and you can check out the general, and I will be making posts there. I have a couple videos for you to check out. I have a new episode out today of Pat Baer's Anime Club. There are 12 isekai out this season. You heard me right. There are 12 isekai that are out in fall 2025. And I talk about all of them. I talk about the ones I'm going to be watching. I talk about the ones I might watch. Maybe. And I talk about the ones I'm definitely not going to watch. And there are various reasons. There's a couple that just aren't airing in any of the streamers. Like none of the streamers. So there's one that's airing on a streamer that I don't want to pay for. And so I won't see the show because I'm not going in nefarious means. But yeah, there's some shows that I'm just like, I'm not going to see these. As I talk about all of the reasons why I'm watching them and why I'm not and why I might watch it. So check that video out because that's one of my favorite videos to make every season is the looking at that. And the fact that it's 12 is so fucking high. And then Kuma Baer. Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation. This month, all this month, I'm talking about anime from the last season, the summer season that I thought was great. And so I made a video about The Water Magician, another isekai that I think has fantastic animation and it has a pretty chill story that is sometimes shaken up with big epic fights that look really good. And I think that's just like a fun show. And you should check that out if you're looking for a cool adventure series that has some quiet moments to it. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a manga that I have been reading, and then I will talk about 2 episodes of an anime that I've been watching. They are also all isekais. That's just what happened. It just happens that way sometimes. But in order to do that, I need to drink some water. I need to get back to the overhead camera, and we're going to do all of that right now. All right. So let's talk about a manga that I have been reading. We're going to talk about surviving in another world with the house building skill. So as you can tell, it has another world in the title. This is an isekai. as you may clearly understand it to be. Yeah, we're talking about an isekai right off the bat here. Everybody in the world gets skills. Sometimes those skills help you in your profession. Sometimes those skills are kind of considered to be duds, and they won't help you at all do anything. And sometimes those skills are overpowered and nonsense. Our girl, who has been living with a dad who's a piece of shit, and she's been trying her best to make ends meet and to support herself and unfortunately him, she goes and gets her skill, which is called the house building skill. And she is like, when she gets that skill, she remembers, hey, I used to be Japanese. I was a Japanese lady. My life, sucks. I'm going to build a house. I'm going to travel to another country where I can make money and build a house and escape this shit, because it's not going to work. This village barely tolerates me, mainly because my dad sucks, and this skill, people are not going to understand what that is, so I'm out of here. And she travels. She has a long, arduous journey. She makes it to her destination, and when she arrives at this city with a labyrinth, she is told, well, you can't you can't build a house here. You can't be a permanent resident. Yeah, no. You're from another country. You can never own land here and build a house. You can't even buy a house here. And she's like, fuck. Because this is not a world based on a video game. She doesn't have outsider knowledge. She just has, her ingenuity and her general knowledge of things from being Japanese, in a modern society. So she's like, fuck, okay. Well, I guess I'm going to have to figure out how to get out of this country and go somewhere where I can build land. Fuck. I should say right off the bat, all of that is said pretty quickly. The manga basically starts with her being told, yeah, you can't own a house here. So that comes in, like I said, pretty quickly. We don't see her journey to get there. We don't meet her dad at all. We don't see her get her ability and having the headache and suddenly she can remember things. We don't see any of that shit. Which, in my opinion, is great. I think that rules. I love that we don't see any of that or hear any of that, because we've seen that stuff before. We've watched that before. We've seen this kind of anime before, or in this case, manga. We've read this before. So we don't need any of that. So our girl, we do get flashbacks. We find out a little bit more in flashbacks. We know that she worked for a witch and she learned some skills. And so she's supporting herself by crafting things and selling those crafts. And then at one point, it suddenly dawns on her, because she doesn't know anything about the house building skill specifically. Hey, does it have to be a regular house? Because when she looks at an old carriage, an old cart, her powers, like, she knows instinctively, oh, I could fucking make something with that. I could turn that into a house. If I call that a house, I can work on it. So she's going to basically make a house cart. Like, she's going to make a mobile home, basically. She gets a horse that has an attitude, which is great, but likes her, but doesn't like other people, which is just fun. Fun little extra bit of business. All right, this has to click in, and it's not clicking in. So hold on. Let me try to get this in before I keep talking. There it is. That did have to click in. Okay. That clicked in. We'll get the other one of these done, and then we will pan align this here with the black marker, make it look all kinds of nice. Go real good. And then we'll keep going. That's going to be, yeah. So the other thing about this, so she's on a journey, she's taking jobs, she's trying to amass money so that she can put money into her cart and then keep that going and, keep it a secret. She makes friends with some crafters who want, basically, they give her a steal on the cart and even like give her some work to do and help her out because they just want to watch her do her. They've never seen this craft before and they're interested in the skill. So they're like, want to watch her do her thing, which basically her skill seems to be she instinctively understands how things work and she can work faster than most people and get the job done quicker than other people would. And so it is a cheat skill in that respect. It's not a cheat skill in the way that like being really strong or really fast or having omnipotent magic would be a skill, right? And that's the other part of this manga. The thing that actually to me is the most interesting is she's not the only reincarnator or summon. There are other people in this world who have come in just like she has. And those people, it seems like not all of them, but a lot of them have made their presence known because they have such extraordinary powers. They look for other people that have also reincarnated, and they been summoned, and they refer to themselves as the Nihon tribe because, of course, they do. And they're very flashy, and they have a guild, and they're well known. And our girl realizes right away, I don't have that kind of like people might come after me because they might think I have hidden skills, which I don't have hidden skills, but they might come after me because of these flashy, annoying people. And so she's instantly like, I want to keep my distance from them. I want to try to stay away from them as much as I can. There's an incident with one of them that like is dangerous that she's trying to get out of dealing with. And then there's a guy that like is from Japan, is clearly having like living with a power fantasy, and is probably a creep. And he has taken a lot of interest in her. So now that's where we left off in the manga of her trying to distance herself from him. But just like the realization that like, man, I'm a young girl. I don't want to get the attention of a bunch of people. I got to steer clear. If people find out I'm from Japan or I'm part of this tribe, then it's going to be annoying for me. So I'm just going to blend in as best I can. And I think that's pretty cool. It adds a different twist to it. Also, female-led isekai. There are more of them now than there were when Sword Art Online and Jobless Reincarnation kind of like swept. And to be clear, I do not think that Sword Art Online is an isekai. I think that's a death game anime, but it did popularize a lot of genre tropes and kind of rejuvenate the overpowered male main character in an isekai trope because it became such a popular series. So it while not being an isekai, it did a lot of damage to the subgenre that I like by just making it really popular with people that were just looking for overpowered men that had a lot of women that loved them, and all the other tropes that I think are shit. So yeah, I think Surviving in Another World with the House Building Skill is a cool manga. I'm going to be looking for more chapters. I'm excited to read more of it. And I want to talk to you about it because I thought it was pretty neat. And also it was a nice compliment to the anime that we're going to be talking about, which is, of course, Dad is a Hero, Mom is a Spirit, I'm a Reincarnator, which is there is a manga and a novel that have a U.S. release under the title Reincarnated as the Daughter of the Legendary Hero and the Queen of Spirits, which they have changed again to Dad is a Hero, Mom is a Spirit, I'm a Reincarnator. And we got 2 episodes here, and we'll learn about basically the first episode describes like what happened before the series really starts, which is some context that I think is important. So we've got our main kingdom in the past. This was years ago. And the king is just like, shit, all right. We got all these monsters. I'm sending the hero, the spirit wizard, Roval, wizard Roval to go and take care of these monsters as a last resort. He does that, but he is on his deathbed, and so one of the spirits that he has a contract with, the Spirit Queen Origin, she takes him to the spirit world. He's the first human to go to the spirit world, and it takes him 10 years to recover before he can go back to the world. And when he shows up, he comes back with Ellen, our main character. Ellen is a half spirit, half human, the first ever. So she's got some spirit powers. She's got her humanity and knowledge, and she can go anywhere a human goes. Because Origin, her mom, the Queen of the Spirits, and Ravel fell in love and had a kid, which is great. We love that. We also learn via monologue from Ellen that she used to be a scientist in Japan. So we're going to see some alchemy and some science stuff come up throughout the course of this series because of that. So she is a reincarnation, and there is, I believe in the light novel, there is conjecture that the reason why her being a half spirit is even possible is because of her soul being from another world. And that's the only way it would have worked, and it wouldn't have worked with a different soul. That's not in the manga. That's not in this anime, but that is from the light novel. I think it's from a side story in the light novel or bonus story, but that makes some sense to me. Anyway, so they come back. A message from the kingdom that says, "Hey." Finds him and goes, "Hey, just so you know, you're a noble. You and your brother got made nobles. Your house got made nobles as a thank you because we thought you gave up your life for us. So your brother's the noble, but your younger brother is having Salval is having issues. So hey, guess what? We got an overpowered main character who can do all kinds of stuff." But we have family drama and family dynamics because Ravel had the hero had a fiance who was a princess that he did not enjoy her company because she sucks. She went and married the brother, and then she's been a real jerk about it. She's spent all of their money and put them into debt. And Alberto, who's the guy, is the knight that is still loyal, is just like, "Hey, could you fix this? Is there a way I know you just got back from recuperating for 10 years or whatever, but could you get involved in this and kind of make this go away, help your brother out?" So Roval's just like, "Okay." In the meantime, before he can really act, what he does is he goes to the church and he summons Origin, the spirit, so they could be legally wed, because he doesn't want any shenanigans to come up with her, trying to leave her brother and get back with Ravel or whatever. So no, we're getting married. They have a kid together, so they get married. He marries a spirit, and that gets taken care of. Because she can use alchemy, our girl can use alchemy, Ellen, she makes platinum rings, so they have wedding rings, which is really nice. She just kind of conjures them up. It's our first look at her magic, because she understands, she understands the periodic table, and she has magic, so she can do basically alchemy better than anyone else because, of her scientific knowledge from Earth. That's the gist of it. That's our reasoning why she can do all kinds of cool shit, is because she's got the power. All right, we're almost done with this thing here. We can now put these on here, and we are almost ready to attach the defender. Got to put these like this, and then we gotta put this on here, and then this goes on here. So they make wedding rings. The wedding rings get blessed by Origin's sisters, Vor and Var, the All-Seer and the Condemner, which we're just kind of meeting. Turns out there are a lot of spirits out there, high-ranking spirits. They're all related, and they all love Ellen because she's the first kid they've ever met, because she's the first spirit that was not just like created by other spirits. She's the first one to be born. So they were like, they love Ellen. So they're helping Ellen out. Origin and Ellen go back to the spirit world because there's going to be some shenanigans. And the episode ends with Ravel confronting the princess, who is just like, oh, obviously you finally come back to marry me. I can't wait to ditch my husband, your brother, and marry you. So so this thing goes in the back. We could put this on a stand if we wanted to, but we're not going to worry about that. Instead, we're going to... oh, yeah. Also, these can open up like this if we want to do that. That can go like that. We'll put them in here for now. A lot of stuff can happen here. But right now, we're just going to connect this. Wait, how does this connect? Okay. There we go. Oh, also, this sword can go on here. So we'll put the sword on here. Because we don't need the sword, because we're going to have dual pistols. So that was the first episode of the show. I was like, yep, this is the manga that I've been reading. So I'm into it. Now, how does this connect? It says... it, like, locks in. Oh. Go like that? No. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate this... oh, no. Yeah. Oh, can I pull these apart? Oh, can I pull these apart so that I can do this easier? I should have done this when this weren't connected. I didn't think about doing a test of it. All right, great. I can pry these off. I'm just going to try to put this back piece on here without all the extra stuff and see if I can figure out how this goes on. Nope. It says it just slots in. Look at this. I'm going to take the head off too, so that way I don't break anything. Because if I can get this to slide in, then I can just attach the other parts to it while it's slid in there. Nope, that's not working. Whoops, nope. The backpack came off. And one of the side skirts came off. That's why I took the head off, because I didn't want the head to fly away either. All right. So now the backpack came off, which means that I can then try to do this like this, which I guess I probably should have done, but I didn't. Well, this thing looks... Got beheaded, yes, for its own protection. Indeed, that's the whole... yeah, that's the whole point. Okay. No, that doesn't go there. Okay, there it goes. I got it now. That was annoying. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on here now. Like that. And then I'm going to build out the backpack with this. Okay, so we can put this like here. Then this we can snap in. Okay. And then we can snap this piece in here. Whoops. Sliding around. Okay. There we go. And of course it came right back off. But because I have the backpack attached well, I can then just get the backpack on here pretty easily. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like that. Okay. So yeah, now the backpack has to kind of fit in just right, which it does. And then put those things like there, like that. And then put the sword there. And then all we have left, I believe, is the guns. And the shield. That's right. I have to build the shield, too. Okay. That was a lot of work to get these the wings done. But they are done, and it looks pretty cool. It doesn't want to stay. It wants to lean on its side. Because, of course, it doesn't want to stay. Let's see if I can do that. There we go. This thing looks fucking rad. I'll just say that. As we then move on to all of the weapons that we have left to build, which is the guns. Yeah, we got to build that. Wait, we build one gun? Okay, so we build one way and one the other. And so we will have to build those and put them on the hands here. Because we want a dual pistol. We want a dual pistol. And then there's also a beam shield, which is this piece, which looks rad. And we at least want to look at it, even if we don't use it. But, all right, let's get all of the pieces we need for the guns here. We're going to build one gun and then build the other. And I'll finish talking about this anime, because episode 2. So we have Angel shows up, the princess with her daughter. And they're like, this is... And because she's just insane, she's just like, here's your daughter. And it's like, that's impossible. That's definitely not my daughter. What are you talking about? And he's like, nope, you're getting a divorce from my brother, not because I want to marry you, because you've been messing around and clearly unfaithful and stealing his money. Because it's been confirmed pretty easily, yeah, that this girl is not you're not her uncle, like, she's not your brother's son either, or brother's daughter either. Basically, Salvo, his brother, they meet, and he's just like, hey, I'm married a spirit, I have a kid. Now you're caught up. I'm sorry that thank you for taking care of everything while I was gone and while I was recuperating, but like, also now let me help you. Apparently, Savile is just like, yeah, look, I had to marry her because you weren't here. I do have a mistress. She's got a daughter. I just kind of want to be with them. This got out of hand, and I would love to get this taken care of. Which is like, oh man, all right. I mean, you know, he's actually in love with someone for the sake of being in love with them, and it's messy, right? King finds out what's going on, and then he's just like, he finds out what's going on. He's like, hey, his son, Ravasol, is just like, we can't afford to make the hero we cannot afford to make this dude mad. It would be terrible for the country if he, the kingdom, if he left. Like, we've got to do whatever we can just to appease him and figure this stuff out. So we got to make this work, which is true. Let's see. We need here, which is, very true. Ellen notices that this prince, because she's watching the whole thing, she notices the prince has a miasma surrounding him. And apparently there was a curse that was placed on the royal family for generations, because at some point in the past, the royal family of this kingdom upset the spirits, and we don't know how they did that, but at some point they really pissed off the spirits, and now they have been cursed, and they are paying for that. And obviously the queen of the spirits marrying the hero of the kingdom, they have even more reason to be like, okay, well, we need to make this work out. We need to figure this stuff out, because we can't anger the spirits anymore, what with all of them being cursed. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble getting all this together here. All right, so this piece needs to go This needs to be like this. And then this goes that. Okay, so that goes like that up top. Then this looks like this here. And this goes on it like that. There we go. Okay. And then A23. Sorry. Putting together this gun was a little confusing. Hopefully doing the other one will be a little easier. We do have a lot of stickers to apply to this in a moment here, unfortunately. But we will. We'll do it. We'll get it done. So let's see. There's the curse, as I mentioned. There's a court case for divorce, and that's when the princess is just like, no, I don't. I want a divorce because I want to marry my true love, Ravel, the who we know is the hero, because like she, a daughter needs to be with her father, and he's just like, hey, I've been in the spirit realm for 10 years and she's 8. And then unfortunately the princess, Angel, accidentally confesses that her current husband isn't the father either, which is like, because even like she in court says that someone else is the father, which makes it so that her current husband is not the father, and she is a fucking dumbass for saying that out loud. What are you doing? So basically they're like, hey, the best part of it is like the court says, yeah, you're divorced. Also, you're not allowed to get remarried. We're not going to let you marry anybody in this country, which is a wild punishment, but that's the punishment she gets. And then let's see. And then not only is she the spirits have their hand in this, because not only is she not allowed to get married anymore, the goddess Var, who we met in the first episode, gives her a curse, and she can no longer touch men for the rest of her life, which for this particular princess is a cruel fate. But yeah, so she is cursed with that, not being able to touch a dude. Then Ravel visits the prince who we had been introduced before, Ravissel, who is next in line for the throne because the king is going to advocate at some point. And so Ravel has inadvertently helped out this guy move up to be the next king, which will happen sooner than later because the king approved his daughter's wedding to the hero's brother, which then now is ended in divorce. And so the assumption is, well, if that happened, then he's probably going to abdicate, which was apparently part of the plan this whole time. Dun, dun, dun. And then the prince, soon to be king, is just like, hey, you know what would be great? I've got a son. We should have Ellen, your daughter, be engaged to him. That would like strengthen the kingdom and be so cool. Which is immediately rejected by our hero, the kingdom's hero Ravel, and he's just like, okay, well, now I am certain that the future king is an enemy of ours, which is a rough thing to figure out immediately, like immediately having to deal with that, but that is where he has to deal with. Okay, so this is sticker 12, which goes on like the, we got the bendy stickers, everybody. We got the stickers that have to move around and wrap around things. Do I have to do that for these guns? I don't have to, but it will look better with these stickers on them. It's just tough because they are very small, and I have been doing this for a while tonight. So anyway, that's episode 2. I really like this manga. I'm going to keep watching. I think the anime is fine. The subtitles don't look great, but no subtitles on Crunchyroll look particularly good right now because they just don't. Crunchyroll made some changes. We talked about that over the weekend. They made some changes to the software they use, and it is for the fucking worse. It is just a worse experience now. The actual content of the subtitles seem to be the same, but the look of them are very flat and just feel bad. All right, so now we need sticker 11, which is... Where does sticker 11 go? This is sticker 11. And... All right, I might not do all these stickers for the guns here just because I'm not sure where they all go. Oh, okay. So this is the inside. Instead of having a sticker that is this big and folds, they decided to do 2 stickers. So you're doing like the outside and then the inside sticker, which I guess is preferable. I mean, look, obviously, this piece being a blue plastic is what you actually want. You don't want these tiny, thin stickers that you have to like sort out. Obviously, the actual answer is just fucking give me this in blue. But if you're going to use color correcting stickers, I guess I prefer this over the ones that fold if they're going to be this thin. I don't know. I don't have a good answer about this. All right, I probably won't do the thin layer on the next one, but I'll do the bigger blue layer. And then we have stickers 9 and stickers 10. Yeah, so I might... I might just kind of pick and choose what I'm going to do here on these, but I'll let you know. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? I watched some professional wrestling last night with some friends. A tournament is happening in Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling that I was interested in the results of. And I thought it was a fun video or fun show. Good time. And there's I think 2 shows this coming weekend, so I'm gonna watch those. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to watch them, but I'm going to try to watch them. Because they're fun. Do like watching. Okay, I'm not going to do this sticker. Fuck it. What's the next piece I got to put on here? A29. And then, I got to put A13 on that. Oh, okay. The reason why this sticker didn't look good is because it was the wrong sticker. So that was my fault. I need... A9 to go on here. But yeah, I want to hear from you about what you're up to, what you're into. I did play some Helldivers 2 yesterday with my multiplayer crew. That was a pleasant distraction and a good time. It's always fun hanging out with those folks, playing some games, so I was happy to do that. I play in Hearthstone, a new week, so new quests in Hearthstone, so I was trying to do all that. I think I have 1 out of my 3 weeklies I still have left, but I got the other 2 weeklies done, so that was nice. That felt good to get that done. All right, then I need a couple A pieces, and this is going to be done. And then I got to build the other gun. We need A22. And A29. So yeah, that was good. It was nice. Our crew is not good at Helldivers 2. I want to make that clear. I think I've said that before, but we're not like great at the game, but we do have a really good time playing and kind of just, you know, bullshitting and hanging out. It's just a good time to with the crew. So that was really fun. I always look forward to those. I'm not going to be able to do it for a while, so it was nice to be able to get together and hang out. I have not decided if I'm going to put Hearthstone on my laptop or not. I think I'm going to put it on my phone. I think I have enough space on my phone, so I think I'm going to put Hearthstone on my phone. That seems bad, but that's probably what I do, and then just you know wait for Wi-Fi and play when I can. Just on the one hand, it will just be, you know, like, oh, because that's fun. Like, I think I can put Hearthstone on my laptop and it'll be fine. I still might, but really the reason I want to do it is just a little bit of normalcy. Like, as many of you are aware, as you've heard me say over and over again, I play Hearthstone every day. So I certainly don't have to play Hearthstone every day, but I like playing it every day. And I feel like if I'm doing a bunch of traveling and I'm all over the place, it might be nice to have a little bit of, you know, just the usual. I think that might be helpful for me as I'm doing some traveling and all that. So I'm thinking I'll put it on my phone and see how that goes. You know, if it's got Wi-Fi at whatever hotel I end up at. I think that might be nice. All right, so we got one gun done. Now we need to do the other gun here. Oh, yeah, there's one sticker I didn't put on this gun. Let me put that sticker on. Not actually done with this. Oops. All right. Oh. Always nice to work with very small stickers when I'm tired. I found that is a great experience that everybody loves. I'm trying to make sure I put this in so it's in the right spot, but also so I don't bend it or fold it in half, which I have definitely done before. Lashbrook says, I finally beat Silent Hill Elf. Hell yeah. And I think playing on hard combat difficulty was a mistake, because I'm really interested in the story and where it's going. But New Game Plus changes the story. It's not just a chance to get a different ending. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe you picked the wrong... you made the wrong choice there by making the difficulty hard. If you just want to see the story... I hear you. And, like, you know, if it's not just a different ending, then if it was just a different ending, I should say, then you could just watch on YouTube video, you know? You wouldn't have to see what was going on there. When we rated Arthur Geese the other day, he was watching a YouTube video of the true ending of a game that he'd been playing. I think it was Chronos was the name of the game. He was playing the true ending because he didn't get the true ending and he wanted to see it, but he wasn't going to play through it all to get that or reload a thing. Which I think is totally fucking fair and reasonable. But yeah, if New Game Plus changes more than just unlocks a true ending or whatever, then, and you don't want to play through the whole game again, then I think it's totally reasonable to be like, what if I just didn't? All right, 824. So this other rifle is basically the same, but slightly different. I don't remember why the the Freedom or the Strike Gundam has slightly different guns, but it does. I believe they get into why. But I am not a Gundam Seed expert by any stretch. I watched the show as it aired, and then I watched. And then I watched the second season, most of the second season after the fact, because I wasn't really watching anime at the time and didn't necessarily love Seed at the in the odd set, so I didn't really fully commit to the show. All right, so this one goes like this. Slightly different gun. Last one says, I've seen that movie and couldn't tell you the plot, let alone the gun changes. Yeah, I think it just like at some point they like he has a gun, and at some point he gets like an upgrade, and instead of trading the guns, he just has both of them. And I can't remember if that. I don't think it's important. I don't even think it happens in the movie. I think it's the TV show thing, but I can't remember it. But at some point he does dual wield, and it's I don't think it's a plot point. I think it's just like oh yeah, all right, well, I'll just do that. This is what it is. But we'll finish this off, because like I said, I actually think we're going to end on time, but if we needed to, we would stay, because I was hell-bent on finishing this kit today, because I don't know the next time I'm going to do a model kit build. For those that weren't here at the top of the stream, I'll just say, hey, I am going to have to take some personal time. I am going to do a stream tomorrow. I am doing my my gaming stream. I am going to be checking out a game called Battlesuit Aces, which feels like it is very appropriate for this channel because it is a mecha-themed storyline that has some card battling elements to it. I guess primarily it's a card battler. And as somebody who is does a lot of card game stuff, certainly Hearthstone is the game I probably played the second most on this channel. Pokemon, well, if you count Pokemon is always the same, then it's probably Pokemon. But if you don't count Pokemon, if you count each individual Pokemon, then it's this, and then the most I've played is Power Wash Simulator. But I think right below that is Hearthstone. That's my guess. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but that's my belief anyway. So anyway, cards and mecha. It's like, all right, well, I got to check that out. I got to see what that game is about. That's going to be tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll be checking that game out. And then I'm not going to stream on Thursday or Saturday. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming on Monday. I haven't figured all that out. I am not getting into a lot of details, but for family reasons, I am going to Connecticut, which is where where I was born. So I'm going to Connecticut probably on Wednesday. We're still figuring all that out. I'm going to know probably tomorrow more of that. But the plan, go to Connecticut. And I don't know when I'm coming back. So I can't guarantee when my next stream will be. I might do a just chatting stream at some point with my laptop. I'm gonna bring my headset that has a microphone. I'm gonna bring that. That I can promise you. But beyond that, I can't make any promises because I don't know, because that's not the priority right now. And then also, it's just good to at least say out loud. It's just like, I don't know when I'm going to be alone. I don't know when my Wi-Fi is going to be good. I just don't have any of those answers, and so I don't want to make promises I can't keep. So right now, all I can say is, no stream on Thursday, no stream on Saturday, stream tomorrow. And then I don't know when the next stream will be. I hope it will be next Monday or next Tuesday. But I don't know. My priorities lie with other things right now. So I'm going to allow those priorities to exist. But of course, I will be back to streaming when I can, because I like streaming. As I said at the top of the stream, it does genuinely benefit me to do these streams, not just for subs or whatever, promoting my other stuff, whatever you want to talk about with that. It's just good for my mental health to be able to stream and hang out with people and chat about things. It's just nice. It's nice for me to have that, so I want that. All right, we got one more sticker here after we put one more piece in. The tiniest sticker on this kit has to go in. Apparently, I could have put some stickers on the face here, and I never did. And then we have one other thing to build as well. Once this gun is done, we do have to build the shield. We got to build the shield, which is easy to do. Oh no, there are two more stickers. I can replace this with a different face if I wanted to. And those stickers go on the other V-fin, I should say. Not face. You can tell that I'm towards the end of the stream here. The V-fin. I could replace the V-fin with a different V-fin, and that V-fin has stickers that go on it, but I don't care about that enough to do it. So I'm not going to. All right. That's not perfect, but it's good enough. And then we'll get the other piece here, the last piece that we're putting on here other than the shield. This piece goes on here. Oh. That. And then this very tiny sticker goes on, which is the one I had trouble with a couple minutes ago. And then we'll just build the shield, and then we'll be done with this kit. Yeah, if anybody else watching has anything they've been working on or playing or doing, you had a time on the weekend, you want to tell me about anything you got up to, I always like hearing from you about those things and things, so feel free to let me know. And if not, that's also okay. If you just want to lurk, or if you don't feel like sharing with a guy you don't really know, that's also okay. You know, if your weekend is your business, you don't need to tell me anything, then yeah, don't worry about it. We'll do a little panel line here, clean this up a little bit here. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I have to say here. Hopefully I'll be able to watch wrestling this weekend, because there's quite a few things that I want to see, but that's, again, not the priority. But I could see myself staying up on a Sunday, getting caught up on the wrestling, or on Monday, or or you know, watching a bunch of stuff here and there. Okay. Guns are there. Lorecrash says, I've been playing more Ghost of Yotei and killing plenty of dudes as I explore the map. Managed to climb up on Mount Yotei, which was a pretty cool area to explore. Hell yeah. I'm glad you had fun with that. All right, so our kit is just about done. The last thing we have to do is put the shield on, which is we want to take this arm off like that. We want to take this piece off here. We want to take this, and we want to change it to like that. I don't know. I don't know what they want from me. We gotta take this piece off. We gotta put this piece on. But that's cool, Lord Crashington. I'm glad you're having a good time with it. All right, we'll take that off there, and then we'll put this on here. All right, and then we got to take this, and we got to put this on like this. Nope. Like that. There it goes. Then we got our beam shield, our lovely beam shield, and then we just have to put the arm back on, and hopefully when we put this arm back on, everything clicks together and nothing goes weird. So far, so good. Beam shield on, gun on. Gun on. Kit done. The Mighty Strike Freedom is a cool looking model kit. I do love the white, blue, and red color scheme, the traditional color scheme for the main ass Gundam, with gold in there as a nice accent. The backpack wing thing was very fucking involved and a lot. I do love the dual-ended beam saber. That is just a cool little touch. Overall, top tier kit. Decent enough experience other than some tiny stickers on the guns I don't love. But other than that, a fun build. I'm glad I did it. And yeah, this has been in my backlog for a while, so I'm glad that I put it together. Thank you for hanging out. As I said, we did go a little longer than we traditionally would, but I did want to wrap this up because I didn't want like, oh, I have to build the shield or I have to build one of the two guns and have that just kind of like waiting for me. Instead, I can focus on the 2 things I have from my backlog that are from my wish list, and that'll be the next thing that I build. So I'm going to message Chris and just say, hey, it's going to be a little while before I build those things. That is going to do it for tonight's stream, but we are going to raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go find someone to go hang out with who's doing cool stuff that we want to go spend some time with and keep the party going. It is Monday, so if she is streaming, we will raid Mary Kish. Mary Kish is not streaming, as far as I can tell, which is okay. It's okay that Mary is not streaming. It happens. She can live her life. I'm sure she's doing stuff. That's totally cool. Because Mary rules and she can do what she wants to do. She's recording Fire Escape tonight, which makes sense because she's been busy. So you schedule when you can schedule. Luckily for us, my friend Heather just started streaming like a couple minutes ago. She's been playing Silk Song. So we're going to check her out in more Act 3 of Silk Song. But she is... she rules. And she has just started up. So we're not like interrupting her too much. So let's go raid Heather on a Monday. And I hope you have a great rest of your night. I hope you come along on this raid. I hope you will come back tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern for Battlesuit Aces, which looks fucking rad. And I'm excited to check that game out. And it'll be my last stream for a little bit. So I hope you can hang out tomorrow for that. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.